Hey everyone! Today we talk about a very specific type of woman living in Tokyo, known as the Minato ward girl. Now, when you think of Tokyo, you might think of ancient temples or the Shibuya Scramble Crossing. But let's zoom in on one of the city's 23 wards, Minato Ward. It's not the political center, not even the absolute wealthiest, but it has this potent mix, this perfect storm of high-end apartments and towers like Roppongi Hills residence, exclusive restaurants, and a nightlife scene in chic neighborhoods like Roppongi, Asabu Juban, and Nishi Azabu, all backdropped by the iconic Tokyo Tower. It's become a symbol. Moving to Minato Ward is like telling the world you've made it. You're not some country bumpkin anymore. This ambition was perfectly captured in the popular TV drama Tokyo Joshi Zukon, or Tokyo Girl, which chronicled a woman's journey through the city's social strata, with Minato as the ultimate prize. It's different from the old money areas. Minato is all about new money. Tech entrepreneurs, foreign investment bankers, the guys who clawed their way to the top. It's a place that understands raw ambition because it was built on it. And wherever you find a concentration of successful, wealthy men, you will absolutely find women who want to be a part of that world. This brings us to the Minato ward girl, or Minato kujoshi, as they're called in Japan. They're these dazzling creatures with glamorous lives, often described as kira-kira, or shining and glittering, and very often mysterious jobs and incomes. They don't all live in Minato Ward, but their entire social universe orbits around it. Their greatest asset is youth and beauty. We're generally talking about women under the age of 28. That's a key number, a callback to the older derogatory Christmas cake slang for an unmarried woman over 25. Once they pass 28, it's like a graduation. Either they've successfully leveled up into a Minato ward wife, or they've started their own business, or the dream fades and they fall back to wherever they came from. The term itself is a lightning rod. For the women who claim it, it's a badge of honor. To outsiders, it's dripping with negative connotations. As a writer for Savvy Tokyo put it, the phenomenon faces considerable criticism for promoting a superficial lifestyle that reinforces gender stereotypes and social hierarchies based on beauty and status. The system is pretty blatant. From having a meal with friends and calling a man to come over and pay the bill, a move known as takuha, or delivery, to expecting him to pay for the taxi ride home after a date. Many of these activities fall under specific names. There's papakatsu, a form of compensated dating with a sugar daddy, and ganomi, which are essentially drinking parties where women are paid just to attend, often between 10,000 yen and 30,000 yen for a few hours of sparkling conversation. It's a transaction, one woman using the pseudonym Eri told weekly magazine Shukan Post. I provide a fun, glamorous atmosphere. He provides financial support. We both get what we want. For a true Minato ward girl, making a man pay isn't just a perk, it's the entire point. But they have their own code, their own pride. They're not the same as the professional hostesses you might find in Ginza's high-end clubs. Many of them are graduates from good universities or have white-collar jobs in finance or media. They might be aspiring models or actresses. They see themselves not as women being chosen by men, but as the ones doing the choosing. Men are a resource, a utility, a stepping stone to be used and discarded. They're ATMs that can get you into the right parties. Their lives are meticulously curated for social media, especially Instagram. Every expensive meal, every designer bag, every infinity pool is amplified 200% online to be Instabae, or shiny enough for Instagram, harvesting envy and attracting more partners, more backup wallets. And here's where it gets wild. It's rumored that many of these women don't just have one boyfriend. They have a portfolio. They're so strategic that they're known to have different birthdays for different men. They'll tell one guy his birthday's in June, another it's in July. Every birthday means a lavish party and expensive gifts from brands like Hermes or Chanel. The only reason they probably haven't tried to create a second Christmas is because it's a public holiday everyone knows about. Now, what about the men they target? These are the so-called high-spec guys, a term for wealthy, well-educated, and good-looking men. They're the Minato danchi, or Minato ward men. Being rich is obviously the main requirement, but it's not the only one. A guy who isn't a billionaire but has an incredible network of surgeons, lawyers, or venture capitalists can also be a valuable target. A man who can open doors to exclusive circles is a powerful asset. The savviest of these women understand that a network is a currency all its own. They operate in small groups, sharing information, trading contacts on the Line messaging app. One woman's connection can become a resource for the entire group. If a private party needs a couple more women to balance the numbers, a good sister will be right there with the recommendation. For these women, finding a man to marry isn't the problem. The world is full of men waiting to propose. The problem is finding a man whose status won't diminish their own. The period between age 25 and 28 is the end game. It's a frantic rush of casting a wide net, investing in multiple potential husbands at once, while trying to avoid the private investigators hired by the wives of the married men in their circle. The men aren't stupid either. They know the clock is ticking. On a popular Japanese forum, one man commented, "You play the game together, but as she gets older, you can feel her goal shifting from fun to a marriage contract. That's when it's time to exit." As a Minato ward girl gets closer to that 28-year-old graduation, men start to keep their distance. She becomes less of a fun date and more of a liability. To stay relevant, she might have to start introducing younger women, new recruits into the scene, just to maintain her own social standing. But what happens when it all goes wrong? What happens when the man she banked on, the one who was supposed to be the final stepping stone, either dumps her or his business suddenly fails? History is written by the victors. The women who don't make it, who don't successfully leap to the next level, they don't get a chapter. They just disappear. A comment on a Japan Today article about the phenomenon captured this sentiment perfectly. Youth is their only real asset, and it has an expiration date. They fade back into the crowd. They might become the makeup-free housewife you see buying groceries at the supermarket, or the single woman struggling to find a stable job because of a suspicious blank space on her resume that's hard to explain in Japan's rigid corporate culture. And maybe years later, she'll pass by the Tokyo Tower, see that incredible, glittering skyline built on money and ambition, and remember that for a brief, shining moment in time, she held a piece of that world in her hand.